think I figured it out. I think I figured it out last night. So we're gonna revisit this Uwa doctrine again. We remember this guy, this old pothead, who keeps saying the Wa is a Uwa, and this guy right here came up. And it's 5 years old, but I want to highlight something.
What's the deal, YouTube? I want to show you faggots something here on YouTube
Whoa.
about the actual Hebrew language, the ancient, and just show you some of the Greek and Latin and how the actual letters worked again. Because there's some dumb, stupid people sitting here on YouTube that actually thinks that the actual letter W actually represents the W sound in the ancient Hebrew.
Oh,
That's not true. As you can see, right
Show
here,
us your
I'm about to
source.
show you
Show us your
that in the
source.
Latin,
That's your source?
the actual, you can see the actual V actually represented a U sound. And the actual W that people keep talking about that's in the ancient Hebrew, that it wasn't really a W, it actually gave you the sh sound. The S right here is I'm about to show you that in the Latin and in the Greek, the actual, you can see the actual V actually represented a U sound.
So he said, let me
the actual W.
He said, let me show you.
Dumb, stupid people sitting here on YouTube that actually thinks that the actual letter W actually represents the W sound in the ancient Hebrew. That's not true. As you can see,
He said,
right here,
like
I'm
he about to show you his source. Like he's about to show you his scholarly academic source. And then he turns it over to some stuff that he done wrote down.
That in the Latin and in the Greek, the actual, you can see the actual V actually represented a U sound.
But he's using Latin and Greek to explain Hebraic vocalizations. Does that make any sense? But I just came across that guy's video. I want to show that weirdness. We're going to revisit the Uwa argument. It's like I say, last night when I was studying, I was doing my usual vocabulary, going through vocabulary. I think I came on to something. I think I know why they think it's Uwa. But this is the Spanish guy I was saying in the one video I was gonna show. Where is it? What's the timestamp? What is it? Let's listen real quick.
People who intentionally, in their own Hebrew linguistics definitions and explanations, tell you that you are not allowed to pronounce the Father's name. Why would I trust them? In their own book, we got a book right here in the house.
Oh,
we bought a book.
Show us.
We bought a book, a Jewish Hebrew linguistic books on how to learn Hebrew.
Did you use it?
In their own book, they tell you his name is too holy to pronounce, so they put these other letters in front of it so you can say Elohim or Adonai. So why would I want to trust them in telling me the true name?
Why don't you just learn the
vocabulary? That's my explanation. That's devoted to y'all's explanation. Why I don't. I'll trust. I'll use some of their.
So he bought a book. He never picked it up or stayed devoted to learning vocabulary. And he quit, well, not vocabulary, learning grammar. But he used his own explanation instead of going through the grammar and understanding what's going on, the rules of biblical Hebrew. So let's go to why he says his explanation for, like, if you see the title, why Yahuwah? So he says Yahuwah. Let's see why he says it.
And they have a U and a W. Okay, but you don't really hear the W. Ooh, ooh, who, yeah, who. And then the Dalet is obviously your D, and then the last letter is the H.
Oh, let me go back.
Yehuda. A Y and an H are next to each other. Coming in. I don't like how they
right
Yehuda.
So that's the guy. That's the guy right
Yehuda.
here. That's what he's saying right here.
Okay. You notice how this is where the deception starts coming in. I don't like how they put like an E right after the Y. Yehuda.
Why don't you like that, bro?
Even though every time a Y and an H are next to each other, at the end of a name, it's always Yah. Like Jeremiah, Isaiah, Yeshua,
Oh, that's why.
Yeshayahu. That's another point we're going to get to. Okay? But
Even though you never took the time to learn the grammar to see why that is, but you don't like that. It's a deception.
look at how they spell
Conspiracy theorist.
the Y. They have the H here,
Okay, let's look.
right? They have the Y,
Yeah.
the H, and they have a U and a W. Okay, but you don't really hear the W. Ooh, ooh, who, yeah, who.
All right.
And then the dalet is obviously your D,
Yep.
and then the last letter is the H. Yehuda. Yehuda. All you have to do is take away the D, and you
What?
have the Father's name. Yahuwah. It's just that simple.
Is it?
I mean, for me, that's the simplest way to break it down. Yahuwah. Yehuda.
Yeah, that is
Okay,
pretty
why
simple. That is pretty simple, bro. Yeah, that is pretty simple. What the heck? Why is that shaking? All right. So, IBH, and like I say, nightly, I try to go over a couple consonants in the glossary. So last night I was doing, I think, Kof, Res, and Sheen, or Seen. And got to Ruach. And, you know, Ruach had the ooh and the ah. Ooh, ooh. It's like, wait a minute. That sounds like ooh, like they're saying. Now, instead of this pathak, they say ah, but I say ah. Ruach. But they may say ruach. Ruach, ruach. So then I thought about, you know, to say yeah, well, Yehusha, Yahushua. So you got the ooh and the ah, but they say Yahushua. What's another one? So I thought, I know what they're doing. I know exactly what they're doing. They do not realize through their novice and trying to deconstruct an ancient language with an ancient Near East language with a modern Western language, they do not know what a furtive pathak is. So let's see what a furtive pathak is. Early on into it, lesson 2, section 8. It's like early in the book, page 40. A fertile pathak. In a word ending with a strong guttural. A hey, het, or iron. An extra vowel, a pathak. arises spontaneously or furtively in pronunciation when the guttural follows a full accented vowel. So, Noah, a lot of people say Noah, but Noach. Furtive Pathak is written a little to the right. See, instead of being under it, it's under that first leg of the final guttural, although in some publications it may appear under it. And it's saying it's an exception to the rule of syllable constructions presented above, because you're going to have two vowels back to back. And in Hebrew, Aramaic, I want to say Arabic, the three Shemitic languages that I've gotten to be more familiar with, studied. I don't believe in those three you can have vowels back to back. So let's look at one. Let's look at something else real quick. All right, this even one of the first things you learn, the Masoretic vowel points. The short vowels of a Pathak. The short A, as in after, is represented by a line under the Hebrew letter. So that line is the A in after. So thinking another one is, maybe we'll look at another one. I think it said like the A in bat. So it's the Pathak. This line is a and it's a short vowel. Let's go to the long vowels. The comments, long vowel, the A with the that's not a circle. What is that? With the line above it, it's the A in father. Father. So, like we said, in Ruach, in Ruach, that's how if you're gonna follow what these linguists are saying, that the Pathak is an which in modern Hebrew they really don't make a distinction between a Pathak and a comments. They both are which is very especially when you go to verbal paradigms, it's like you need that because it's your theme vowel. So in modern Hebrew they'll say ruach, but according to a lot of linguists, Hebrew scholars, the Pathak is a ruach. So this would be, they may say, Yahushua, but it's Yahushua. So in CL sales, I go to front of Pathak. When a word ends in a hey, chet, or ayin, an additional Pathak appears under the guttural. If the word does not already end in an A-class vowel. The fertile pathak is pronounced before the final guttural. So he's highlighting ruach and gaboa, 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 ruach. So I'm saying that these people do not know that the UAU that they think a wa is pronounced in ancient Paleo Hebrew. They don't know that a fertile pathak is what appearing to make it easier to transition from a long vowel to that guttural. I don't think these people understand this because they don't know Hebrew grammar, so they just don't know that. So I think that is why, because I can't, like I say, I try to study vocabulary, and it just dawned on me that is probably where that's coming from. Their misunderstanding of Hebrew grammar.